Lynch, I'm not looking Zoe, makes sheep's eyes. No. You wouldn't do a less thing. Would you suck a lemon? Squinting in mock shame, she glances with sidelong meaning at Bloom, then twists round towards him, pulling her slip free of the poker. Blue fluid again flows over her flesh. Bloom stands, smiling desirously, twirling his thumbs. Kitty Ricklet slicks her middle finger with her spittle end, gazing in the mirror, smooths both eyebrows. Le Petit Vierge, boss lickagramate, shoots rapidly down through the chimney flue and struts 2 steps to the left on gawky pink stilts. He is sausaged into several overcoats and wears a brown mackintosh under which he holds a roll of parchment. In his left eye flashes the monocle of Cashel Boyle O'Connor Fitzmaurice Tisdale Farrell. On his head is perched an Egyptian shin. 2 quills project over his ears. Vierge, heels together, bows. My name is Vierge Lapote, of Chambesley. He coughs thoughtfully, drilly, promiscuous nakedness is much in evidence hereabouts, eh? Inadvertently her back V revealed the fact that she is not wearing those rather intimate garments of which you are a particular devotee. The injection mark on the thigh I hope you perceived. Good. Bloom, Grandpapachi. But Vierge, number 2 on the other hand, she of the Cherry Rouge and Cola Force White, whose hair owes not little to our tribal elixir of gopher wood, is in walking costume and tightly stays by her sit, I should opine. Backbone in front, so to say. Correct me, but I always understood that the act so performed by skittish humans with glimpses of lingerie appealed to you in virtue of its exhibitionisticity. In a word, hippogriff. Am I right? Bloom, she is rather lean. Vierge, not unpleasantly. Absolutely. Well observed in those pannier pockets of the skirt and slightly pricked-top effect are devised to suggest bulginess of hip. A new purchase at some monster sale for which a gull has been mulcted. Meretricious finery to deceive the eye. Observe the attention to details of dust specks. Never put on you tomorrow what you can wear today. Parallax. With a nervous twitch of his head, did you hear my brain go snap? Polysyllab backs. Bloom, an elbow resting in a hand, a forefinger against his cheek, she seems sad. Vierge, cynically, his weasel teeth bared yellow, draws down his left eye with a finger and barks hoarsely, hoax. Beware of the flapper and bogus mournful. Lily of the alley. All possess bachelor's button discovered by Roaldus Columbus. Tumble her. Columble her. Chameleon. More genially, well then, permit me to draw your attention to item number 3. There is plenty of her visible to the naked eye. Observe the massive oxygenated vegetable matter on her skull. What ho, she bumps. The ugly duckling of the party, lobe casting deep in keel. Bloom, regretfully, when you come out without your gun. Vierge, we can do all brands, mild, medium and strong. Pay your money, take your choice. How happy could you be with either? Bloom, with Vierge, his tongue upcurling, Leon. Look. Her beam is broad. She is coated with a considerable layer of fat. Obviously a mammal in weight and bosom. You remark that she has in front well to the 4 protuberances of very respectable dimensions, inclined to fall in the noonday soup plate, while on her rear lower down are 2 additional protuberances, suggestive of potent rectum and tumescent for palpation, which leave nothing to be desired save compactness. Such fleshy parts are the product of careful nurture. When quite fattened, their livers reach an elephantine size. Pellets of new bread with fenugreek and gum benjamin swamped down by potions of green tea endow them during their brief existence with natural pincushions of quite colossal blubber. That suits your book, eh? Fleshopots of Egypt I hanker after. Wallow in it. Lycopodium. His throat twitches, slap bang. There he goes again. Bloom, this tie I dislike. Vierge arches his eyebrows, contact with a gold ring, they say. Argumentum ad feminam, as we said in old Rome and ancient Greece in the consulship of Diplodocus and its Thesauros. For the rest, Eve's sovereign remedy. Not for sale. Hired only. Huguenot. He twitches. It is a funny sound. He coughs encouragingly, but possibly it is only a wart. I presume you shall have remembered what I will have taught you on that head. Wheaten meal with honey and nutmeg. Bloom, reflecting wheaten meal with lycopodium and silabax. This searching ordeal. It has been an unusually fatiguing day, a chapter of accidents. Wait. I mean, warts blood spreads warts, you said. Very severely, his nose hard humped, his side eye winking. Stop twirling your thumbs and have a good old thunk. See, you have forgotten. Exercise your mnemotechnic. Like how's a grave Santa. Tara. Aside, he will surely remember. Bloom, Rosemary. Also, did I understand you to say are well powered over parasitic tissues? Then they know I have an inkling. The touch of a dead hand cures. Nemo. Very excitedly. I say so. Ian so. Technic. He taps his parchment drawl energetically. His book tells you how to act with all descriptive particulars. Consult index for agitated fear of aconite, melancholy of muriatic, myopic pulsatilla. Vic is going to talk about imputation. Our old friend caustic. They must be starved. Snip off with horsehair under the dent neck. But, to change the venue to the Bulgar and the Basque, have you made up your mind whether you like or dislike women in male habiliments? With a dry snigger, you intended to devote an entire year to the study of the religious problem in the summer months of 1886 to square the circle and win at million. Pomegranate. From the sublime to the ridiculous is but a step. Pajamas, let us say. Or stocking get me sudden knickers, clothes. Or, put we the case, those complicated combinations, knickers. He crows derisively, kikariki. Bloom surveys uncertainly the three horses, then gazes at a moth light, hearing the ever-flying moth. Bloom, I wanted them to have now concluded. Not dressed was never. Hence this. But tomorrow is a new day will be. Past was as today. What now is will then morrow is now as be past yester. Varied, prompts in a pig's whisper. Insects of the day spent their brief existence in reiterated coalition, lured by the smell of the inferiorly pulchritudinous fumal possessing extendified putatal nerve and dorsal region. Pretty pole. His yellow pirate beak gables nasally. They had a proverb in the Carpathians and are about the year 5550 of our era. 1 tablespoonful of honey will attract friend brewing more than half a dozen barrels of first-choice malt vinegar. Bears buzzball there's bees. But of this apart. At another time we may resume. We were very pleased, we others. He coughs and, bending his brow, rubs his nose thoughtfully with a scooping hand. You shall find that these night insects follow the light. An illusion for remember their complex unadjustable eye. For all these naughty points see the 17th book in my Fundamentals of Sexology of the Love Passion, which Dr. Pounds says is the book sensation of the year. Some, to example, there are again whose movements are automatic. Perceive. That is his appropriate son. Nightbird nights and night out. Chase me, Charlie. He blows into Bloom's ear. Buzz. Bloom. Beer blew a bottle 2 other day. Budding shadow on wall dazed self then me wonder dazed down shirt good job I. Varied, his face impassive, laughs in a rich feminine key. Splendid. Spanish flying his fly mustard plaster on his dibble. He gobbles gluttonously with turkey waddles. Bubbly jock. Where are we? Open sesame. Cometh forth. He unrolls his parchment rapidly and reads, his glowworm's nose running backwards over the letters which he claws. Stay, good friend. I bring thee thy answer. Red bank oysters will shortly be upon us. I'm the best no cook. Those succulent bivalves may help us in the truffles of Pregard, tubers dislodged through Mr. Omnivorous Porker, were unsurpassed in cases of nervous debility or virigitis. Though they stink yet the sting. He wags his head with cackling raillery, jocular. With my eyeglass and my ocular. He sneezes. Oh man. Bloom, absently, ocularly a woman's bivalve case is worse. Always open sesame. The cloven six. Why the fear of vermin, creeping things. Yet even the serpent contradicts. Not a historical fact. Obvious analogy to my idea. Serpents too are gluttons for woman's milk. Went their way through miles of omnivorous forest to suck succulent her breast dry. Like those bubbly jocular Roman matrons one reads of in Elephantiasis. Virid, his mouth projected in hard wrinkles, eyes stonily forlornly closed, psalms in outlandish monotone that the cows with their nose distended utters that they have been the known. Bloom, I am going to scream. I beg your pardon. Ah. So. He repeats spontaneously to seek out the saurian's lair in order to entrust their teats to his avid suction. And milks a fizz. Profoundly, instinct rules the world. In life. In death. Virid, head askew, arches his back and hunched wing shoulder peers at the moth out of blear bulged eyes, points a horn and claw and cries, Who's moth? Who's dear Gerald? Dear, that you? Oh dear, he is Gerald. Oh, I much fear he shall be most badly burned. Will some police person not now impediment so catastrophic MIT agitation of first class to Blimken? He mews, puss. He sighs, draws back and stares sideways down with dropping under jaw. Well. He doth rest anon. He snaps his jaws suddenly on the air. The moth, I'm a tiny thing ever flying in the spring round and round during carrying. Long ago I was a king, now I do this kind of thing on the wing. Bing. He rushes against the moth shade, flapping noisily. Pretty petticoats. From left upper entrance with 2 gliding steps Henry Flower comes forward to left front center. He wears a dark mantle and drooping plumed sombrero. He carries a silver-stringed inlaid dulcimer in a long-stemmed bamboo Jacob's pipe, its clay bowl fashioned as a female head. He wears dark velvet hose and silver-buckled pumps. He has the romantic savior's face with flowing locks, thin beard and mustache. His spindly legs and sparrow feet are those of the tenor Mario, Prince of Candia. He settles down his goffered ruffs and moistens his lips with the passage of his amorous tongue. Henry, in a low dulcet voice, touching the strings of his guitar. There's a flower that bloometh. Virid truculent, his jowl set, stares at the lamp. Grey Bloom regards Zoe's neck. Henry Gallant turns with pendant dewlap to the piano. Stephen, to himself, play with your eyes shut. Imitate pop. Filling my belly with husks of swine. Too much of this. I will arise and go to my. Expect this is the. Steve, thou art in a parlous way. Must visit old DCR telegraph. Our interview of this morning has left on me a deep impression. Though our ages will write fully tomorrow. I'm partially drunk, by the way. He touches the keys again. Minor chord comes now. Yes. Not much, however. All Madonna Ortophony holds out a bed and roll on music with vigorous mustache work. Ortophony, Sirifletta. Lerovina Tutto. Flory, sing us something. Love's old sweet song. Stephen, in a voice. I am the most finished artist. Lynch, did I show you the letter about the lute? Flory, smirking. The bird that can sing and won't sing. The Siamese twins. Philip drunk and Philip sober, 2 Oxford dons with lawnmowers, appear in the window embracer. Both are masked with Matthew Arnold's face. Philip sober, take a fool's advice. All is not well. Work it out with the butt end of a pencil, like a good young idiot. £3.12 you got, 2 notes, 1 sovereign, 2 crowns, if youth but knew. Mooney's Enville, Mooney's Sur Mer, the Mora, Lurketts, Hull Street Hospital, Berks. Eh? I am watching ye. Philip drunk, impatiently. Ah, bosh, man. Go to hell. I paid my way. If I could only find out about octaves. Her duplication of personality. Who was it told me his name? His lawnmower begins to purr. Ah, yes. Zowie Moose Capo. Have a notion I was here before. When was it not Atkinson? His card I have somewhere. Mac somebody. And Mac I have it. He told me about, hold on, Swinburne, was it? No. Flory, and the song. Stephen, spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. Flory, are you out of Maynooth? You are like someone I knew once. Stephen, out of it now. To himself, clever. Philip drunk and Philip sober, the lawnmower's purring with her gadoon of Grashams, clever ever. Out of it, out of it. By the by, have you the book, the thing, the ish plant? Yes, there it, yes. Clever ever out of it, no. Keep in condition. Do you like us? Zoe, there was a priest down here 2 nights ago to do his bit of business with his coat buttoned up. You needn't try to hide, I says to him. I know you're a Roman collar. Very, perfectly logical from his standpoint. Fallen man. Harshly, his pupils waxing, to hell with the Pope. Nothing new under the sun. I am the Virg who disclosed the sex secrets of monks and maidens. Why I left the Church of Rome. Read the priest, the woman in the confessional. Penrose. Flipperty gibbered. He wriggles, woman, undoing with sweet pewter her belt of rush rope, offers her almost Johnny demands Lingane. Short time after man presents woman with pieces of jungle meat. Woman shows joy and covers herself with featherskins. Man loves Johnny fiercely with big Lingane, the stiff one. He cries, coactus volui. And giddy a woman will run about. Strong man grabs his woman's wrist. Woman squeals, bites, spucks. Man, now fierce angry, strikes woman's fat yadgana. He chases his tail, puff path. Popo. He stops, sneezes, PCHP. He worries his butt, PRRRRRRHT. Lynch, I hope you gave the good father penance. 9 glorias for shooting a bishop. Zoe, spouts walrus smoke through her nostrils. He couldn't get a connection. Only, you know, sensation. A dry rush. Bloom, poor man. Zoe, lightly only for what happened to him. Bloom, how? Veered, a diabolic richness of black luminosity contracting his visage, cranes his scraggy neck forward. He lifts a mooncalf nozzle and howls. Murph luck going. He had a father, 40 fathers. He never existed. Peg God. He had 2 left feet. He was Judas Iacchia, a Libyan eunuch, the Pope's bastard. He leans out on tortured forepaws, elbows bent rigid, his agonizing in his flat skull neck and yelps over the mute world, the son of a whore. Apocalypse. Kitty, and Mary Shortall who was in the lock with the pox she got from Jimmy Pigeon and the Blue Caps had a child off him that couldn't swallow and was smothered with the convulsions in the mattress and we all subscribed for the funeral. Philip drunk, gravely, qui ooze a Miss Dan set fetal position, Philippe. Philip sober, gaily, seated a sacred pigeon, Philippe. Kitty unpins her hat and sits down calmly, patting her hair. And a prettier, a daintier head of winsome curls was never seen on a horse's shoulders. Lynch puts on her hat. She whips it off. Lynch laughs and is such delights has Metchnikov inoculated anthropoid apes. Flory nods. Locomotive taxi. Zoe, gaily, oh, my dictionary. Lynch, 3 wise virgins. Veered, a shaken. Profuse yellow spawn foaming over his bony epileptic lips. She sold love filters, white wax, orange flower. panther, the Roman centurion, polluted her with his genitories. He sticks out a flickering phosphorescent scorpion tongue, his hand on his fork. Messiah. He burst her tympanum. With gibbering baboon's cries he jerks his hips in the cynical spasm. Hick. Heck. Heck. Hope. Hook. Cock. Cute. Bent jumbo-dollared, rubicant, muscle-bound, hair-nostrilled, hooglered, cabbage-eared, shaggy-chested, shock-man, fat-papped, stands forth, his loins and genitals tightened into a pair of black bathing bag slopes. Barren-dollared, knocker in castanet bones and his huge padded paws, yodels a violin bass bar tone when love absorbs my ardent soul. The virgin's nurse Callan and nurse Quigley burst through the ring keepers and the ropes and wept him with open arms. The virgins, gushingly, Big Ben. Ben my Cree. A voice, hold that fellow with the bad breeches. Barren-dollared, smites his thigh in abundant laughter, hold him now. Henry, caressing on his breast a severed female head, murmurs, thine heart, mine love. He plucks his lute strings when first I saw. Veered, sloughing his skins, his multitudinous plumage molting rats. He yawns, showing a quail-like throat, and closes his jaws by an upward push of his parchment drawl after having said which I to my departure. Farewell. Fare thee well. Drick. Henry Flower combs his mustache and beard rapidly with a pocket comb and gives a cow's lick to his hair. Steered by his rapier, he glides to the door, his wild harp slung behind him. Virg reaches the door in two ungainly still thops, his tail cocked, and deftly collapsed sideways on the wall of Pew's yellow flybill, butting it with his head. The flybill, K2. Post no bills. Strictly confidential. Dr. Hypharanx. Henry, all is lost now. Virg unscrews his head in a trice and holds it under his arm. Virg's head, quack, exhumed severally. Stephen, over his shoulder to Zoe, you would have preferred the fighting parson who founded the Protestant dare. But beware Antisthenes, the dog sage, and the last end of Aries Heresiarchus. The agony in the closet. Lynch, all one and the same God to her. Stephen, devoutly and sovereign Lord of all things. Flory, to Stephen, I'm sure you're a spoiled priest. Or a monk. Lynch, he is. A cardinal's son. Stephen, cardinal sin. Monks of the Screw. His Eminence Simon Stephen Cardinal Dedalus, primate of all Ireland, appears in the doorway, dressed in red sateen, sandals and socks. 7 dwarf Simeon acolytes, also in red, cardinal sins, uphold his train, peeping under. He wears a battered silk hat sideways on his head. His thumbs are stuck in his armpits and his palms outspread. Around his neck hangs a rosary of corks ending on his breast in a corkscrew cross. Releasing his thumbs, he invokes grace from on high with large wave gestures and proclaims with bloated pomp, the cardinal, Conservio lies captured. He lies in the lowest dungeon with manacles and chains around his limbs weighing upwards of 3 tons. He looks at all for a moment, his right eye closed tight, his left cheek puffed out. Then, unable to repress his merriment, he rocks to and fro, arms akimbo, and sings with broad rollicking humor. Oh, the poor little fellow high, his legs they were yellow, he was plump, fat and heavy and brisk as a snake, but some bloody savagely grayish his white cabbage he murdered Nell Flaherty's duck-loving drake. A multitude of midges swarms white over his robe. He scratches himself with crossed arms at his ribs, grimacing, and exclaims, I'm suffering the agony of the damned. By the hokey fiddle, thanks be to Jesus, those funny little chaps are not unanimous. If they were, they'd walk me off the face of the bloody globe. His head is slant, he blesses curtly with 4 and middle fingers, imparts the Easter kiss and doubly shuffles off comically, swaying his hat from side to side, shrinking quickly to the size of his train bearers. The dwarf acolytes, giggling, peeping, nudging, ogling, estercussing, zigzag behind him. His voice is heard mellow from afar, merciful male, melodious, shall carry my heart to thee, shall carry my heart to thee. and the breath of the balmy night shall carry my heart to thee. The trick door handle turns. The door handle, the Zoe, the devil is in the door. A male form passes down the creaking staircase and is heard taking the waterproof and hat from the rack. Bloom starts forward involuntarily and, half closing the door as he passes, takes the chocolate from his pocket and offers it nervously to Zoe. Zoe sniffs his hair briskly. Thank your mother for the rabbits. I'm very fond of what I like. Bloom, hearing a male voice and talk with the whores on the doorstep, pricks his ears if it were he. After. Or because not. Or the double event. Zoe tears open the silver foil fingers was made before forks. She breaks off and nibbles a piece, gives a piece to Kitty Ricketts, and then turns kittenishly to Lynch. No objection to French lozenges. He nods. She taunts him. Have it now, wait till you get it. He opens his mouth, his head cocked. She whirls the prize in left circle. His head follows. She whirls it back in right circle. He eyes her. Catch. She tosses a piece. With an adroit snap he catches it and bites it through with a crack. Kitty, chewing, the engineer I was with at the bazaar does have lovely ones. Full of the best liqueurs. And the viceroy was there with his lady. The gas we had on the toughest hobby horses. I'm giddy still. Bloom, and Svengoli's fur overcoat, with folded arms and Napoleonic forelock, frowns in ventriloquial exorcism with piercing eagle glance towards the door. Then rigid with left foot advanced he makes a swift pass with impelling fingers and gives a sign of past master, drawing his right arm downwards from his left shoulder. Go, 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 I conjure you, whoever you are. A male cough and tread are heard passing through the mist outside. Bloom's features relax. He places a hand on his waistcoat, posing calmly. Zoe offers him chocolate. Bloom, solemnly, thanks. Zoe, does your bid. Here. A firm heel-lacking tread is heard on the stairs. Bloom takes the chocolate aphrodisiac. Tanzan Panaro. But I bought it. Vanilla calms her. Nemo. Confused light confuses memory. Red influences lupus. Colors affect women's characters, any they have. This black makes me sad. Eat and be merry for tomorrow. He eats. Influence tastes too, moth. But it is so long since I seems new. Afro. That priest. Must come. Better late than never. Try truffles at Andrews. The door opens. Bella Cohen, a massive horror mistress, enters. She is dressed in a 3/4 ivory gown, fringed around the hem with tasseled selge, and cools herself flirting a black horn fan like Minnie Hawk and Carmen. On her left hand are wedding and keeper rings. Her eyes are deeply carboned. She has a sprouting mustache. Her olive face is heavy, slightly sweated and full nose with orangutan-tainted nostrils. She has large pendant-barrel eardrops. Bella, my word. I'm all of a muck sweat. She glances round her at the couples. Then her eyes rest on Bloom with hard insistence. Her large fan windows win towards her heated face, neck, and a bond point. Her falcon eyes glitter. The fan, flirting quickly, then slowly. Married, I see. Bloom, yes. Partly, I have mislaid. The fan, half opening, then closing, and the Mrs. Master. Petticoat government. Bloom looks down with a sheepish grin. That is so. The fan, folding together, rests against her left eardrop. Have you forgotten me? Bloom, yes. Yo. The fan, folded akimbo against her waist. Is me her was you dreamed before? Was then she him you was since new? Am all them the same now we? Bella approaches, gently tapping with the fan. Bloom, wincing, powerful being. In my eyes read that slumber which women love. The fan, tapping. We have met. You are mine. It is fate. Bloom, cowed, exuberant female. Enormously I desiderate your domination. I am exhausted, abandoned, no more young. I stand, so to speak, with an unposted letter bearing the extra regulation fee before the too-late box of the General Post Office of human life. The door in the window open at a right angle cause a draft of 30 feet per second according to the law of falling bodies. I have felt this instant a twinge of sciatica in my left gluteal muscle. It runs in our family. Poor dear Papa, a widower, was a regular barometer from it. He believed in animal heat. No tabby lined his winter waistcoat. Near the end, remembering King David and the son of Might, he shared his bed with Athos, faithful after death. A dog's spittle as you probably. He winces, ah. Richie Goulding, bag-weighted, passes the door, mocking his catch. Best value in dub. Fit for a princess. Liver and kidney. The fan, tapping all things end. Be mine. Now. Bloom, undecided, all now. I should not have parted with my talisman. Rain, exposure, death all on the sea of rocks, a peccant alone with my time of life. Every phenomenon has a natural cause. The fan points downwards slowly, you may. Bloom looks downwards and perceives her unfastened bootlace. We are observed. The fan points downwards quickly, you must. Bloom, with desire, with reluctance, I can make a true black knot. Learn when I served my time and worked the mail order line for Killets. Experienced hand. Every knot says a lot. Let me. In courtesy. I knelt once before today. Ah. Bella raises her gown slightly and, steadying her pose, lifts to the edge of a chair a plump buskined hoof and a full pastern, silk sock. Bloom, stiffly good, aging, bends over her hoof and with gentle fingers draws out and interlaces. Bloom murmurs lovingly, to be a chauffeur in Manfields was my love's young dream, the darling joys of sweet button hooking, the lace-up criss-crossed and ill-length the dressy kid footwear satin-lined, so incredibly impossibly small, of clad-robed ladies. Even their wax model raiment I visited daily to admire her cobweb, hose and sticky rhubarb toe, as worn in Paris. The hoof, smell my hot gothy, feel my royal weight. Bloom, cross-lacing, too tight. The hoof, if you bungle, handy Andy, I'll kick your football for you. Bloom, not to lace the wrong island as I did the night of the bazaar dance. Bad luck. Hook and wrong touch of her. Person you mentioned. That night she met. Now, he knocks the lace. Bella places her foot on the floor. Bloom raises his head. Her heavy face, her eyes strike him in mid-brow. His eyes grow dull, darker and pouched, his nose thickens. Bloom mumbles, awaiting your further orders we remain, gentlemen. Bello, with a hard basilisk stare, in a baritone voice, hound of dishonor. Bloom, infatuated, impressed. Bello, his heavy cheek chops sagging, adorer of the adulterous rump. Bloom, plaintively, hugeness. Bello, dung devourer. Bloom, with sinews semi-flexed, magnificence. Bello, down. He taps her on the shoulder with his fan, incline feet forward. Slide left foot one pace back. You will fall. You are falling. On the hands down. Bloom, her eyes upturned in the sign of admiration, closing, yaps, truffles. With a piercing epileptic cry she sinks on all fours, grunting, snuffling, rooting at his feet, then lies, shaming dead, with eyes shut tight, trembling eyelids, bowed upon the ground in the attitude of most excellent master. Bello, with bobbed hair, purple gills, fit mustache rings around his shaven mouth, and mountaineer's puttees, green silver buttoned coat, sports skirt and alpine hat with moorcock's feather, his hands stuck deep in his breeches pockets, places his heel on her neck and grinds it in. Footstool. Feel my entire weight. Bow, bond sloth, before the throne of your despot's glories hill so glistening in the proud erectness. Bloom, enthralled, bleats, I promise never to disobey. Bellow, laughs loudly, holy smoke. You little know what's in store for you. I'm the tartar to settle your little lot and break you in. I'll bet Kentucky cocktails all around I shamed out of you, old son. Cheat me, I dare you. If you do tremble in anticipation of hell discipline to be inflicted in gym costume. Bloom creeps under the sofa and peers out through the fringe. Zoe, widening her slip to screen her, she's not here. Bloom, closing her eyes, she's not here. Florrie, hiding her with her gown, she didn't mean it, Mr. Bellow. She'll be good, sir. Kitty, don't be too hard on her, Mr. Bellow. Sure you won't, Mom's here. Bellow, coaxingly, come, ducky dear, I want a word with you, darling, just to administer correction. Just a little heart-to-heart talk, sweetie. Bloom puts out her timid head, there's a good girlie now. Bellow grabs her hair violently and drags her forward. I only want to correct you for your own good on a soft, safe spot. How's the tender behind? Oh, ever so gently, pet. Begin to get ready. Bloom, fainting, don't tear my. Bellow, savagely, the nose ring, the pliers, the bastinado, the hanging hook, the now I'll make you kiss while the flutes play like the Nubians of old. You're in for it this time. I'll make you remember me for the balance of your natural life. His forehead veins swollen, his face congested. I shall sit on your ottoman saddleback every morning after my thumping good breakfast of Matterson's fat ham rashers and a bottle of Guinness's porter. He belches and suck my thumping good stock exchange cigar while I read the licensed Victoller's Gazette. Very possibly I shall have you slaughtered and skewered in my stables and enjoy a slice of you with crisp crackling from the baking tin basket and baked like sucking pig with rice and lemon or currant sauce. It will hurt you. He twists her arm. Bloom squeals, turning turtle. Bloom, don't be cruel, nurse. Don't. Bellow, twisting another. Bloom, screams, oh, it's hell itself. Every nerve in my body aches like mad. Bellow, shouts, good, by the rumping jumping general. That's the best bit of news I heard in these 6 weeks. Here, don't keep me waiting, dammy. He slaps her face. Bloom, whimpers, you're after hitting me. I'll tell. Bellow, hold him down, girls, till I squat on him. Zoe, yes. Walk on him. I will. Florrie, I will. Don't be greedy. Kitty, no, me. Lend him to me. The brothel cook, Mrs. Keel, wrinkled, gray-bearded, in a greasy bib, men's gray and green socks and brogues, flour smeared, a rolling pin stuck with raw pastry in her bare red arm and hand, appears at the door. Mrs. Keel, ferociously, can I help? They hold and pinion Bloom. Bellow, squats with a grunt on Bloom's upturned face, puffing cigar smoke, nursing a fat leg. I see Keaton Clay is elected vice chairman of the Richmond Asylum, and by the by Guinness's preference shares are at 16.3 quaffers. Curse me for a fool that didn't buy the lot Craven Gardner told me about. Just my infernal luck, curse it. And that goddamned outsider throwaway at 20-1. He quenches his cigar angrily on Bloom's ear. Where's that goddamn cursed tray? Bloom, goaded, buttocks smothered. Oh? Oh? Monsters. Cruel one. Bellow, ask for that every 10 minutes. Beg. Pray for it as you never prayed before. He thrusts out a fig-fisted foul cigar. Here, kiss that. Both. Kiss. He throws a leg us right hand, pressing with horseman's knees, calls in a hard voice, gee up. A cock horse to Banbury Cross. I'll ride him for the Eclipse Stakes. He bends sideways and squeezes his mount's testicles roughly, shouting, ho. Off we pop. I'll nurse you in proper fashion. He horse rides cock horse, Leaping in the saddle, the lady goes a pace, and the coachman goes a trot, and the gentleman goes a gallop, a gallop, a gallop, a gallop. Florrie pulls at bellow. Let me on him now. You had enough. I asked before you. Zoe, pulling at Florrie. Me. Are you not finished with him yet, Sicaris? Bloom, stifling, can't. Bellow, well, I'm not. Wait. He holds in his breath, cursed. Here. This bung's about to burst. He uncorks himself behind, then, contorting his features, farts loudly. Take that. He recorks himself. Yes, by jingo, 16 3/4. Bloom, a sweat breaking out over him. Not man. He sniffs. Woman. Bellow stands up. No more blow hot and cold. What you long for has come to pass. Henceforth you're a man in mine in earnest, a thing under the yoke. Now for your punishment, Frock. You will shed your male garments, you understand, ruby coat, and don the shot silk luxuriously rustling over head and shoulders. And quickly too. Bloom shrinks. Silk, mistress said. Oh, currently. Scrappy. Must I touch it with my nails? Bellow points to his horse as they are now solely bewigged, singed, perfume sprayed, rice powdered, with smooth-shaven armpits. Take measurements will be taken next to your skin. You will be laced with force and device-like corsets of soft dove cowdill with whalebone busk with the diamantrum pelvis, the absolute outside edge, while your figure, plumper than when at large, will be restrained in net-tight frocks, pretty 2-ounce petticoats and fringes and things stamped, of course, with my house flag, creations of lovely lingerie for Alice and nice sin for Alice. Alice will fill the pool. Martha and Mary will be a little chilly at first in such delicate casing, but the frilly flimsiness of lace round your bare knees will remind you. Bloom, a charming soubrette with dauby cheeks, mustard hair and large male hands and nose, leering mouth. I tried to things on only twice, a small prank, in Hull Street. When we were hard up I washed them to save the laundry bill. My own shirts I turned. It was a purest thrift. Bellow, jeers, little jobs that make mother pleased, eh? And showed off coquettishly in your domino at the mirror behind closed-drawn blinds your unskirted thighs and hego sutters in various poses of surrender, eh? Ho. Ho. I have to laugh. That second-hand black opera top shift and short trunk leg naughties all split up the stitches at her last rape that Mrs. Miriam Dandrade sold you from the Shelburne Hotel, eh? Bloom, Miriam. Black. Mondaine. Bellow, guffaws. Christ almighty, it's too tickling, this. You were in a chill-looking Miriam when you clipped off your backgate hairs and lay swooning in the thing across the bed as Mrs. Dandrade about to be violated by Lieutenant Smythe, Mr. Philip Augustus Blockwell MP, Senior Lachidarimo, the robust tenor, bluey-eyed Bert, the lift boy, Henry Fleury of Goward and Bennett fame, Sheridan, the quadroon Croesus, the varsity went bobade from Old Trinity, Ponto, her splendid Newfoundland and Bobs, Dowager Duchess of Manor Hamilton. He guffaws again. Christ, wouldn't it make a Siamese cat laugh? Bloom, her hands and features working. It was Gerald converted me to be a true corset lover when I was female impersonator in the high school play, vice versa. It was dear Gerald. He got that king, fascinated by sisters' stays. Now dearest Gerald uses pinky grease paint and gilds his eyelids. Cult of the beautiful. Bellow, with wicked glee. Beautiful. Give us a breather. When you took your seat with womanish care, lifting your billowy flounces, on the smooth-worn throne. Bloom, science. To compare the various joys we each enjoy. Earnestly, and really it's better the position. Because often I used a wet. Bellow, sternly, no insubordination. The sawdust is there in the corner for you. I gave you strict instructions, didn't I? Do it standing, sir. I will teach you to behave like a gentleman. If I catch a trace on your swaddles, Ah, by the ass of the Durans you'll find I'm a martinet. The sins of your past are rising against you. Many. Hundreds. The sins of the past. In the medley of voices, he went through a form of clandestine marriage with at least one woman in the shadow of the black church. Unspeakable messages he telephoned mentally to Miss Dunn at an address in D'Olier Street while he presented himself indecently to the instrument in the call box. By word and deed he frankly encouraged a nocturnal strumpet to deposit fecal and other matter in an unsanitary outhouse attached to empty premises. And 5 public conveniences he wrote penciled messages offering his nuptial partner to all strong Menberg males. And by the offensively smelling vitriol works did he not pass night after night by loving courting couples to see if and what and how much he could see. Did he not lie in bed, the gross bore, gloating over a nauseous fragment of well-used toilet paper presented to him by an ashy harlot, stimulated by gingerbread and a postal order? Bellow, whistles loudly, say. What was the most revolting piece of obscenity in all your career of crime? Go the whole hog. Puke it out. Be candid for once. Mutant human faces throng forward, leering, vanishing, gibbering, bo-oh-oh-oh-hoo. Polycock, Bo traces a pennycastle hag, blind stripling, lair rhinoceros, the girl, the woman, the whore, the other, the Bloom, don't ask me. Our mutual faith. Pleasant Street. I only thought the half of that. I swear on my sacred oath. Bellow, peremptorily answer. Repugnant wretch. I insist on knowing. Tell me something to amuse me, smut or a bloody good ghost story or a line of poetry, quick, quick, quick. Where? How? What time? With how many? I give you just 3 seconds. 1, 2. Thr. Bloom, docile, gurgles, arary repugnost and arary repugnant bellow, and Pearsley. Oh, get out, you skunk. Hold your tongue. Speak when you're spoken to. Bloom, bows, master. Mistress. Maintainer. He lifts his arms. His bangle bracelets fill. Bellow, satirically. By day you will souse and bat our smelling underclothes also when we ladies are unwool, and swab out our latrines with dress pinned up in a dishclout tied to your tail. Won't that be nice? He places a ruby ring on her finger, and there now. With this ring I the own. Say, thank you, mistress. Bloom, thank you, mistress. Bellow, you will make the beds, get my tub ready, empty the spots in the different rooms, including old Mrs. Keogh's the cook's, a sandy one. Ah, and rinse the 7 of them well, mind, her lap it up like champagne. Drink me piping hot. Hot. You will dance attendance or I'll lecture you on your misdeeds, Miss Ruby, and spank your bare bot right well, miss, with a hairbrush. You'll be taught the error of your ways. At night your well-creamed braceletted hands will wear 43 unbuttoned gloves new powdered with talc and having delicately scented fingertips. For such favors knights of old laid down their lives. He chuckles. My boys will be no one charmed to see so lady like the colonel. Above all, when they come here the night before the wedding to foreknow my new attraction and gilded heels. First I'll have a go at you myself. A man I know on the turf named Charles Albert Marsh. I was in bed with him just now, and another gentleman out of the Hanapper and Petty Bag office is on the lookout for a maid of all work at a short knock. Swell the boast. Smile. Droop shoulders. What offers? He points. For that lot. Trained by owner to fetch and carry, basket in mouth. He bares his arm and plunges it elbow deep in Bloom's vulva. There's found depth for you. What, boys? That give you a hard up? He shoves his arm in a bidder's face. Here we're at the deck and wipe it round. A bidder, a florin. Dillon's lacquey rings his handle. The lacquey, barang. A voice, 1 and 8pence too much. Charles Albert Marsh, must be virgin. Good breath. Clean. Bellow, gives a rap with his gavel, 2 bar. rock bottom figure and cheap at the price. 14 hands high. Touch and examine his points. Handle him. This downy skin, these soft muscles, this tender flesh. If I had only my gold piercer here. And quite easy to milk. 3 new laid gallons a day. A pure stock jetter, due to lay within the hour. His sire's milk record was 1,000 gallons of whole milk in 40 weeks. Whoa, my jewel. Beg up. Whoa. He brands his initial C on Bloom's crew, so. Warranted code. What advance on to Bob, gentleman. A dark-visaged man, and disguised accent, 100 punts sterling. Voices, subdued for the Caliph. Harun al-Rashid. Bellow, gaily, right. Let them all come. The scanty, daringly short skirt, riding up at the knee to show a peep of white pantalette, is a potent weapon, and transparent stockings, emerald guarded, with the long straight seam trailing up beyond the knee, appeal to the better instincts of the bloodzaman about town. Learn the smooth mincing walk on 4-inch Louis Quinton's heels, the Grecian bend with provoking croup, the thighs fluorescent, knees modestly kissing. Bring all your powers of fascination to bear on them. Pander to their Gomorrah and vices. Bloom bends his blushing face into his armpit and simpers with forefinger in mouth. Oh, I know what you're hinting at now. Bellow, what else are you good for, an impotent thing like you? He stoops and, peering, pokes with his fan rudely under the fat suede folds at Bloom's haunches. Up. Up. Manx cat. What have we here? Where's your curly teapot gone to, or who dogged it on you, cocky? Sing, birdie, sing. It's as limp as a boy of 6 is doing his pulley behind a cart. Buy buckets or sell your pup. Loudly, can you do a man's job? Bloom, Eccles Street. Bellow, sarcastically, I wouldn't hurt your feelings for the world, but there's a man of brawn and possession there. The tables are turned, my gay young fellow. He is something like a full-grown outdog man. Well for you, you muff, if you had that weapon with knobs and lumps and warts all over it. He shot his bolt, I can tell you. Foot to foot, knee to knee, belly to belly, bubs to breast. He's no eunuch. A shocked red hair he has sticking out of him behind like a furze bush. Wait for 9 months, my la. Holy ginger, it's kicking and coughing up and down in her guts already. That makes you wild, don't it? Touches the spot. He spits in contempt, spittoon. Bloom, I was indecently treated, I. Inform the police. £100. Unmentionable. I. Bellow, would if you could, lame duck. A downpour we want, not your drizzle. Bloom, to drive me mad. Mo. I forgot. Forgive. Mo. Wait. Still. Bellow, ruthlessly, no. Leopold Bloom, all is changed by woman since you slept horizontal in Sleepy Hollow your night of 20 years. Return and see. Old Sleepy Hollow calls over the wold. Sleepy Hollow, Rip Van Wink. Rip Van Winkle. Bloom, in tattered moccasins with a rusty filing piece, tiptoeing, finger-tipping, his haggard bony-bearded face peering through the diamond panes, cries out, I see her. It's she. The first night at Matt Dillon's. But that dress, the green. And her hair is dyed golden here. Bellow laughs mockingly. That's your daughter, Yael, with a Mullinger student. Milla Bloom, fair-haired, green-vested, slim-sandaled, her blue scarf and the savine simply swirling, breaks from the arms of her lover and calls, her young eyes wonder-wide. Millie, my. It's Papley. But, oh Papley, how old you've grown. Bellow, changed, eh? I was not, a riding to bull where we never wrote, and Heckerty's armchair, our classic reprints of old masters. A man and his men friends are living there in Clover. The cuckoo's rest. Why not? How many women had you, eh? Following them up dark streets, flat-foot, exciting them by your smothered grunts. What, you male prostitute? Blameless dames with parcels of groceries. Turn about. Sauce for the goose, my gander, oh Bloom, I bellow, cuttingly. Their heel marks will stamp the brusselette carpet you bought at Ren's auction. In their horseplay with Malderump to find the buck flea in her breeches, they will deface the little statue you carried home in the rain for art's sake. They will violate the secrets of your bottom drawer. Pages will be torn from your handbook of astronomy to make them pipeless bills. And they will spit in your 10-shilling brass fender from Hampton Leadham's. Bloom, 10 and 6. They act like low scoundrels. Let me go. I will return. I will prove. A voice, swear. Bloom clenches his fist and crawls forward, a bowie knife between his teeth. Bellow, as a paying guest or a kept man. Too late. You have made your second best bed and others must lie in it. Your epitaph is written. You are down and out and don't you forget it, old bean. Bloom, justice. A Ireland versus one. Is nobody. He bites his thumb. Bellow, die and be damned to you if you have any sense of decency or grace about you. I can give you a rare old wine that'll send you skipping to hell and back. Sign a will and leave us any coin you have. If you have none, see you damn well get it, steal it, rob it. We'll bury you in our shrubbery, Jakes, where you'll be dead and dirty with old Cohen, my step-nephew I married, the bloody old gouty procurator and sodomite with a crick in his neck, and my other 10 or 11 husbands, whatever the buggers' names were, suffocated in the one cesspool. He explodes in a loud flaming laugh. Wheelman, or you, Mr. Flower. He pipes scoffingly, bye-bye, Poldy. Bye-bye, Papley. Bloom clasps his head. My willpower. Memory. I have sinned. I have suffered. He weeps tearlessly. Bellow, sneers, cry baby. Crocodile tears. Bloom, broken, closely veiled for the sacrifice, sobs, his face to the earth. The passing bell is heard. Dark-shawled figures of the circumcised, in sackcloth and ashes, stand by the wailing wall. M. Shalomerwitz, Joseph Goldwater, Moses Herzog, Harris Rosenberg, M. Moiselle, J. Citron, Manny Watchman, P. Masdiansky, the Reverend Leopold Abramovitz, Chazen. With swaying arms they wail and noon over the recreant Bloom. The circumcised, and dark guttural chant as they cast dead sea fruit upon him. No flowers. Shema Israel Adonai Lo and Adonai Chad. Voices, sighing, so he's gone. Oh yes. Yes, indeed. Bloom. Never heard of him. No. Queer kind of chap. There's the widow. That's so. Ah, yes. From the sooty pit where the flame of gum campfire ascends. The pall of incense smoke screens and disperses. Out of her oak frame a nymph with hair unbound, lightly clad into brown art colors, descends from her grotto and passing under an interlacing yew stands over Bloom. The yews, the leaves whispering, sister. Our sister. SS shh. The nymph, softly, mortal. Kindly, nay, dost not weepest. Bloom crawls jellily forward under the boughs, streaked by sunlight, with dignity. This position. I felt it was expected of me. Force of habit. The nymph, mortal. He found me in evil company, the kickers, coster picnic makers, pugilists, popular generals, immoral panto boys in flesh tights and the nifty shimmy dancers, Laura and Carini, musical acts, the hit of the century. I was hidden in cheap pink paper that smelt of rock oil. I was surrounded by the stale smut of Kluman, stories to disturb callow youth, ads for transparencies, trued-up dice and busted pats, proprietary articles and wildware truss with testimonial from ruptured gentlemen. Useful hints to the married. Bloom lifts a turtle head towards her lap. We have met before. On another star. The nymph, sadly, rubber goods. never at Branda's supply to the aristocracy. Corsets for men. I cure fits are money funded. And solicited testimonials for Professor Waldman's wonderful chest exuber. My bust developed 4 inches in 3 weeks, reports Mrs. Gus rubbling with photo. Bloom, you mean photo bits? The nymph, I do. You bar me away, framed mental tinsel, set me above your marriage couch. Unseen, one summer eve, you kissed me in 4 places. And with loving pencil you shaded my eyes, my bosom and my shame. Bloom, humbly kisses her long hair, your classic curves, beautiful immortal, I was glad to look on you, to praise you, a thing of beauty, almost to pray. The nymph, during dark nights I heard your praise. Bloom, quickly, yes, yes. You mean that I. Sleep reveals the worst side of everyone, children perhaps excepted. I know why I fell out of bed, I rather was pushed. Still wine is said to cure snoring. For the rest there is the English invention, pamphlet of which I received some days ago, incorrectly addressed. It claims to afford a noiseless, inoffensive end. He sighs, 'twas ever thus. Frailty, thy name is marriage. The nymph, her fingers in her ears and words. They are not in my dictionary. Bloom, you understood them. These, shh. The nymph covers her face with her hands. What have I not seen in that chamber? What must my eyes look down on? Bloom, hypothetically, I know. Soiled personal linen, wrong-sided with care. The courts are loose. From Gibraltar by long sea long ago. The nymph bends her head, worse. Bloom reflects precautiously that antiquated commode. It wasn't her weight. She scaled just 11 stone 9. She put on 9 pounds after weaning. It was a crack and warmth of glue. Eh? And that absurd orange Ekaj utensil which has only one handle. The sound of a waterfall is heard in bright cascade. The waterfall, Paulo Falca, Paulo Falca, Paulo Falca, Paulo Falca. The eaves, mingling their bows, listen. Whisper. She is right, our sister. We grew by Paulo Falca waterfall. We gave shade on Lagor's summer days. John Wise Nolan, in the background, an Irish National Forester's uniform, doffs his plumed hat, prosper. Give shade on Lagor's days, trees of Ireland. The eaves, murmuring, became to Paulo Falca with the high school excursion. Who left his nut-questing classmates to seek our shade. Bloom, scared, high school of Pula. Nemo. Not in full possession of faculties. Concussion. Run over by train. The echo, sham. Bloom, pigeon-breasted, bottle-shouldered, padded, in nondescript juvenile gray and black striped suit, too small for him, white tennis shoes, bordered stockings with turnover tops and a red show-old cap at badge. I was in my teens, a growing boy. A little thing sufficed, the jolting car, the mingling outdoors of the ladies' cloakroom and lavatory, the throng pinned tight on the old royal stairs for the low crushes, instinct of the herd, and the dark sick-smelling theater unbridles vice, even the priceless of their hosiery. And then the heat. There were sunspots that summer. In the school. And tip psychic. Halcyon days, high school boys in blue and white football jerseys and shorts, Master Donald Turnbull, Master Abraham Chatterton, Master Owen Goldberg, Master Jack Meredith, Master Percy Ap John, stand in a clearing of the trees and shout the Master Leopold Bloom. The halcyon days, mackerel. Live us again. Hooray. The cheer, Bloom, had bled eye, warm glove, mamma muffled, starred with spent snowballs, struggles to rise again. I feel 16. What a lark. Let's ring all the bells in Montague Street. He cheers feebly, hooray for the high school. The echo, fool. The eaves, rustling, she's right, our sister. Whisper. Whispered kisses are heard in all the wood. Faces of her mariage peep out from the bowls and among the leaves and break, blossoming into bloom. Who profaned our silent shape? The nymph, coyly, through parting fingers, there, in the open air. The eaves, sweeping downward, sister, yes. And on our virgin sward, the waterfall, Paulo falca, 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 falca. The nymph, with wide fingers, oh, infamy. Bloom, I was precocious. Youth. The fauna. Sacrifice to the god of the forest. The flowers that bloom in the spring. It was pairing time. Capillary attraction is a natural phenomenon. Lottie Clark, flaxen-haired, I saw at her night toilet through ill-closed curtains with poor Papa's opera glasses, the wanton ate grass wildly. She rolled downhill Rialto Bridge to tempt me with her flow of animal spirits. She climbed the crooked tree and I, a saint, couldn't resist it. The demon possessed me. Besides, he saw, staggering Bob, a white-eared calf, thrust a ruminating head with humid nostrils through the foliage. Staggering Bob, large teardrops rolling from his prominent eyes, snivels me. Me see. Bloom, simply satisfying a need I. With pathos, no girl would when I went girling. Too ugly. They wouldn't play. High on Ben Hole through rhododendrons and indigo passes, plump-eared, buddy-tailed, dropping currants. The indigo bleats, mere jag. Nanny. Bloom, hatless, flushed, covered with burrs of thistledown and gorse-spin, regularly engaged. Circumstances alter cases. He gazes intently downwards on the water, 32 head over heels per second. Press nightmare. Getting Elijah. Fall from cliff. Sat in the government printer's clerk. Through silver silent summer air the dummy of Bloom, rolled in a mummy, rolls repeatingly from the Atlantic cliff into the purple waiting waters. The dummy of mummy, BBBBBLLLLBLBLBLBLOBSCHBG. Far out in the bay between Bailey and Kishlights there's King sails, sending a broadening plume of coil smoke from her funnel towards the land. Councillor Nunetti, alone on deck, in dark alpaca, yellow white-faced, his hand in his waistcoat opening, declaims, when my country takes her place among the nations of the earth, then, and not till then, let my epitaph be written. I have. Bloom, done. PRFF. The nymph, loftily, as you saw today, have not such a place and no hair there either. We are stone and cold and pure. We electric light. She arches her body in lascivious crispation, placing her forefinger in her mouth, spoke to me. Heard from behind. How then could you? Bloom, pawing the heather abjectly. Oh, I have been a perfect pink. Enemas too I have administered. 1/3 of a pint of quash into which add a tablespoonful of rock salt. Up the fundament. With Hamilton Long's syringe, the lady's friend. The nymph, in my presence. The powder puff. She blushes and makes a knee, and the rest. Bloom, dejected, yes. Percavi. I have paid homage on the living altar where the back changes name. With sudden fervor, for why should the dainty scented jeweled hand, the hand that rules? Figures winged serpentine in slow woodland pattern around the tree estems, cooing, the voice of Kitty, in the thicket, show us one of them cushions. The voice of Florrie, here. Her growl swings clumsily through the underwood. The voice of Lynch, in the thicket, Hugh. Piping hot. The voice of Zoe, from the thicket, came from the hot place. The voice of Beard, a bird chief, blue streaked and feathered in war panoply with his assegai, striding through a crackling can of break over beech mast and acorns. Hot. Hot. Where sitting bull. Bloom, it overpowers me. The warm empress of her warm form. Even to sit where a woman has sat, especially with the barricaded thighs, as though to grant the last favors, most especially with previously well-uplifted white satin coat pants. So womanly, full. It fills me full. The waterfall, Phila Palo Falca Palo Falca Palo Falca. These, shh. Sister, speak. The nymph, eyeless, and nun's white habit, coif and huge winged wimple, softly, with remote eyes, tranquil convent. Sister Agatha. Man Carmel. The apparitions of knocking lords. No more desire. She reclines her head, sighing only the ethereal. With a dream of creamy gull waves over the water's dull. Bloom half rises. His back trouser button snaps. The button, bip. Two sluts of the coom dance randomly by, shawled, yelling flatly. The sluts, oh, Leopold lost the pin of his drawers. He didn't know what to do, to keep it up, to keep it up. Bloom, coldly, you have broken the spell. The last straw. If there were only ethereal, where would you all be, postulants and novices? Shy but willing like an ass piecing. These, their silver foil of leaves precipitating, their skinny arms aging and swaying deciduously. The nymph, her features hardening, drops in the folds of her habit sacrilege. To attempt my virtue. A large moist stain appears on her robe, sullying my innocence. You're not fit to touch the garment of a pure woman. She clutches again in her robe. Wait. Satan, you'll sing no more love songs. Amen. 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 She draws a poniard and, clad in the sheath mail of an elected knight of 9, strikes at his loins, nicking. Bloom starts up, seizes her hand. Hoy. Labracata. Cat o' 9 lives. Fair play, madam. No pruning knife. The fox and the grapes, is it? What do you lack with your barbed wire? Crucifix not thick enough. He clutches a veil, a holy avenue under Brophy, the lame gardener, or the spoutless statue of the water carrier, or good Mother Alphonsus, Aaron. The nymph, with a cry, flees from him unveiled, her plaster cast cracking, a cloud of stench escaping from the cracks. Polly. Bloom calls after her as if you didn't get it on the double yourselves. No jerks and multiple mucosities all over you. I tried it. Your strength our weakness. What's our stupid? What we pay on the nail. You femindicers on the Riviera, I read. The fleeing nymph raises a keen, eh? I have 16 years of black slave labor behind me. And would a jury give me 5 shillings alimony tomorrow, eh? Fool someone else, not me. He sniffs a rut. Onions. Stale. Sulfur. Grease. The figure of Bella Cohen stands before him. Bella, you'll know me the next time. Bloom, composed, regards her, passé. Mutton dressed as lamb. Long in the tooth and superfluous hair. The raw onion, the last thing that night would benefit your complexion. And take some double chin drill. Your eyes are as vapid as the glass eyes of your stuffed fox. They have the dimensions of your other features, that's all. I'm not a triple screw propeller. Bella, contemptuously, you're not game, in fact. Her silk-coat barks, brag. Bloom, contemptuously, clean your nailless middle finger first, you're a bully's cold spunk is dripping from your cockscomb. Take a handful of hay and wipe yourself. Bella, I know you, canvasser. Dead cod. Bloom, I saw him, campkeeper. Pox and gleet vendor. Bella, turns to the piano, which he was playing the Dead March from Saul. Zoe, me. Mind your cornflowers. She darts to the piano and bangs chords on it with crossed arms. The cats ramble through the slag. She glances back, eh? Who's making love to my sweeties? She darts back to the table. What's yours is mine and what's mine is my own. Kitty, disconcerted, coats her teeth with the silver paper. Bloom approaches Zoe. Bloom, gently, give me back the potato, will you? Zoe, forfeits, a fine thing and a superfine thing. Bloom, with feeling, it is nothing, but still, a relic of poor mama. Zoe, give a thing and take it back. God'll ask you where is it, you'll say you don't know. God'll send you down below. Bloom, there's a memory attached to it. I should like to have it. Stephen, to have or not to have, that is a question. Zoe, here. She hauls up the reef of her slip, revealing her bare thigh, and unrolls the potato from the top of her stocking. Those that hides knows where to find. Bella frowns. Here. This isn't a musical peep show. And don't you smash that piano. Who's paying here? She goes to the pianola. Stephen fumbles in his pocket and, taking out a banknote by its corner, hands it to her. Stephen, with exaggerated politeness, is silicon precise made out of the sosier of the public. Madam, excuse me. If you allow me. He indicates vaguely Lynch and Bloom. We are all in the same sweepstake, Kinch and Lynch. Dancy aboard the lieutenant's nostrada. Lynch calls from the hearth. Daedalus. Give her your blessing for me. Stephen hands Bella a coin. Gold. She has it. Bella looks at the money, then at Stephen, then at Zoe, Florrie and Kitty. Do you want 3 girls? It's 10 shillings here.